What's up guys, I'm Caddy here bringing you our 4th UU battle. Now today I'm against a guy called Shorty12 and looking at his team, he's got 2 potential spinners or slash defoggers. So I'm not exactly sure how good Sticky Web will be. I'm not exactly sure whether his Crobat will be running the defog or whether as in only one of them is going to be running either defog or rapid spin. Just because his team isn't particularly rocks weak. So, I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see. So, I think, to be honest, he's going to anticipate Galvantula leading. So, it's either going to be the main Shao, the Crobat, or the Donphan that is going to be leading, I predict, personally. So, as always, as a sort of like counter lead, I'm going to go out into Blastoise. I think is going to be my main lead, to be honest. So I'm going to go out into Blastoise to start with. I know a lot of people do end up leading with the Galvantula to try and set up the Sticky Web, so I try and take advantage of that. So he goes out into the Cresselia, which is going to be a bit of a problem, to be honest, because I'm really not going to be able to do much to this. So in terms of his moves, he's going to have Dragon Pulse, Dark Pulse, are going to be his main stabs against me. So what I would quite like to keep this around, to be honest, because I mean it does well against the Arcanine, the Crobat, and the Donphan. So the question is, what do I go out into? So I'm going to have to take a Dark Pulse or Dragon Pulse. And none of my Pokemon really appreciate that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is actually use this opportunity to set up the Sticky Web. I think that might be what I'm going to have to do. So, I'm going to go and... I think what I may have to do is use the Sticky Web to sort of keep the pressure going on his team. Because I will also be able to threaten the Thunder as well. So, I think I'm going to go out into Spexborough this turn. As I said, I would like to keep my Blastoise around, and I don't think it's worth getting into the fight about. He does go out into the floor just now, so what I can do is... I think I'm going to go for the Sticky Web this turn, just to see what move he's going to go for. He may decide to go for the Wish, or Toxic, or something like that. If he goes to the Moonblast, I'm going to end up switching out to Nidoking, I think. I'd set up the Sticky Web as he goes for the Moonblast. Now, I'm at a position where I can survive one thing of rocks, so I think... Entei probably isn't the best switch, especially with the Arcanine around. So, I'm actually going to go out into Killer Bunny. Because nothing really appreciates a Sludge Wave. Even Crobat's not going to really like that. So he does go for the Moonblast this turn. I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave now, just to get as much damage off as possible. Even if he decides to go out to the Donphan, I'm pretty sure the combination of a Sludge Wave and an Ice Beam is going to take him out. He goes out to the Cresselia now. Now I'm pretty sure... Luckily, I do have the T-Bolt, which will be doing more. So I'm going to go for the T-Bolt this turn. If he decides to predict that, then he can, but he's really not going to. So he doesn't, and from here, we're in a fairly comfortable position now, because I'm kind of forcing him out into his Crobat to get rid of the web, because his Donphan doesn't outspeed it, and that's going to have to take a Ice Beam to the face, which is really not going to appreciate. He goes out into the main Shao. Now, 339 speed, I'm definitely outspeeding this, unless it's Scarfed, and to be honest, I don't think it really has enough to actually take me out. So, I am just going to go for the Sludge Wave here, just because it does the most damage to most of his Pokemon. I could have gone for the Earth Power. He does go for the Fake Out here, and he's Life Orb as well. So we know for a fact he's not outspeeding now. So I'll go for the Sludge Wave here. To be honest, I don't think that was really worth it, just to get a little bit of Fake Out damage off, because now something's going to have to take a massive hit, or relatively massive hit. So he goes out into the Crobat. And I am just going to have to Ice Beam here just to keep that pressure going. And he is forced to go for the Brave Bird here. Now, from here, now the Cresselia is out of the way, the Blastoise is in actually a fairly decent position. So it's quite tempting to go into that and go for an Ice Beam. The other alternatives are to go out into Entei. But with that, the Arcanine around, I don't particularly want to do that. Spexborough outspeeds. Let's see. Well, Haxorus really isn't going to be doing much to this Crobat because I can't really risk going for the Dragon Claw. I guess I could just to take the Florges out because I can go for the Poison Jab afterwards. I think, to be honest, Blastoise probably is the best bet. I know it baits the Florges coming in, but I don't think that's really going to be able to do that much. I must admit, when the main shower was in, it was quite tempting to go for the Ice Beam, but I think the sort of the risks involved with not being able to KO that main shell, because I don't think an Ice Beam would. In my mind, it wasn't really worth it. So at this point, Crobat's in a position where I can just go for a Scald here, actually. There's no point going for an Ice Beam. He may decide to sack this off now. He doesn't. He does go for the U-turn at this point. So it's difficult to tell whether he has the defog, because he's not really been that reticent to go for it. So I go for the Scald. It doesn't actually break that. So in terms of what he's going to do now, I think this may be time for... Let's see. So in terms of speed, I have a good chance of outspeeding with Crest, but I do ideally need a safe switch in. I'd like to save the Blastoise. So it's whether... No, Haxorus isn't a good bet. It was tricky. Maybe... I think going back to the team builder, I am going to actually change Haxorus's to Swords Dance back to Dragon Dance. Just because in positions like this, I could have quite easily set up a Dragon Dance on that Crobat, because I know it won't be able to one-shot me. And I'd be in a fairly good position from there. In terms of what to switch in, they've all got their disadvantages, to be honest. So I could go out into the Entei, but then I've got to risk the Arcanine coming in. But I guess I could go for the Bulldoze, and then Bulldoze E-Speed combo would probably take that out. I think that's what I'm going to go for. I think that's probably the best bet. Because I'd like to ideally keep Cress around, because I know for a fact it can set up on Donphans. Donphans just get completely destroyed by those. He goes to the Wish at this point. Now, he may try and go into the Crobat, which I've got to watch out for. So I'm quite tempted to go for a Stone Edge, predicting that Arcanine coming in. I think I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, just because if the Crobat comes in, I can take that out. And it will also... I don't know if it would take out the Arcanine, but it will definitely do a... unless I miss, of course. So, this is why I don't like Stone Edge on this. So from here, I think I'm going to go for a Bulldoze just to lower its speed. I don't know what exactly... I don't know exactly what set he is. I know... well, no, an E-Speed doesn't do more. I could go for the Stone Edge, but to be honest, with that last miss, I'm feeling a little... I don't really want to roll the dice again. So... I am going to go for the Bulldoze again. He goes down to the main Shao. Now, this is going to be seriously slow now. And he's at a point where if he decides to go for the Fake Out, I guess I could E-Speed. I don't know. I think Fake Out does still outspeed me. I'm pretty sure the priority is +3. But he has pretty much sacked off this main Shao now. He does end up doing that. And I think, actually, no. E-Speed is the better play. Just in case that Crobat comes out, he may decide to keep this main Shao because it's a regenerator set. Yeah, got him. He goes into the Crobat, and now his chance of getting rid of that Sticky Web is definitely diminished. So the main Shao is now in a relatively low amount. It's at 70%, which when it does another Fake Out is going to bring it down to 60. This Arcanine is going to be a bit of a problem. So I think, to be honest, I'm happy to get... I'm pretty sure I should be able to tank a E-Speed from this. So I'm going to go for the Bulldoze. And I don't really need the priority, so it doesn't really do as much as I hoped. He does go for the Flare Blitz, and he is Life Orb. So the question is, thinking about it, he probably does have E-Speed, because most of them do run E-Speed. And considering how much Flare Blitz did, 120 plus Stab, 180, divide that by 2. Maths, 90. Well, that's 80, so actually Extreme Speed isn't going to take him out. take me out. So actually, I could go for another Bulldoze. Let's see, 120 power, whereas E-Speed's only 80, so... I think Bulldoze is the better bet, because if I go for Stone Edge and I end up missing, I can go for the E-Speed afterwards. So I'm going to go for the Bulldoze here, because I know for a fact I can take another Flare Blitz. If he goes to the E-Speed, I can take that as well. And if anything else switches in, it's just got that little bit less speed as well. So I go for the Bulldoze again. I did forget about the Life Orb. So, that's a real pain. I'm going to have to go for Stone Edge. There's probably going to be a comment in the video on that. I'm sorry, guys. He doesn't have the E-Speed, so I go for the Stone Edge, which does take him out. I'm now in a position where the main shout is going to be able to take me out, which is a shame. But I don't think this thing's worth keeping anymore. Let's see. I do have access to E-Speed, but to be honest, the web looks like it's going to be staying up. And I do have a Haxorus and Cress also. Cress will handle the main shell pretty well, so I'm just going to go for E-Speed here. There is a chance I may even take this out, to be honest. Actually, no, he's going to fake out. Scratch that. Forgot about the fake out. He doesn't go for fake out. Okay, so maybe not scratch that. Fair enough. I disagree with that, but from here, let's see. Actually, Cress does a lot of work. Let's go on to Cress. I know it's going to be a slightly slower end. Lots of S's there. Actually, no, 2. But I'm gonna definitely outspeed this Florges, so I can get a sub up now, and a Moonblast definitely isn't gonna be doing much. I could have gone down into something else, but to be honest, I want to just play it safe, just to make sure I don't throw this away. He goes to Toxic this turn, and he probably realizes he's a little bit screwed at this point. I can't see how he's gonna pick it back up from here, so I set up the Calm Mind. This is when Cress becomes absolutely evil, because if you have slow walls that can't really hit much, Cress just utterly dominates. And it absolutely loves fighting against Donphans as well, because you pretty much always outspeed them. You can get a sub off. The only thing they can hit you with is the Ice Shard or Stone Edge, really. So that really doesn't do that much. So he does get another Moonblast off, but because I outspeed, I can just get another sub up. And I'm just slowly building these up. I do apologise. I know it is a slightly slower end, but you're always better off playing it safe, to be honest. Unless it's absolutely guaranteed that you are going to win. So I'm going to go for another Calm Mind here. Just to make sure it takes him 2 hits to try and break my sub. So he goes for another Moonblast. That doesn't break my sub. Okay, so I'm now in a fairly good position. So there's no point completely setting up, because that's just a waste of time. So I can go for the Psyshock here. He's then going to invariably break my sub, so I can set up a new one. And then I only have to take one more hit from him. Yeah. And from there, I have a almost full health sub, 2/3 full sub, which should be enough to handle this Donphan as well. And even if I don't, I've got Galvantula with Giga Drain, Haxorus, which does a decent chunk, and Blastoise as well. So I'm pretty sure this is GG from here. He does go for another Moonblast. He could have wished Protect, but to be honest, that's not going to really achieve much. So I'm going to go for the Psyshock again. So, as you guys can see, this team is absolutely evil. And it's quite good, because I quite like it, because it handles itself outside of Sticky Web as well. Because you do get those sort of teams that really do struggle. I think sometimes the key is to have something with really quite powerful priority as well. In terms of what's happening with my next session, I'm thinking of doing a Trick Room team. Just because I've not really tried them before, or tried them on this channel, and I haven't really tried them in a while as well. And I don't know, for OU, it may work out quite well. So I'd love any suggestions as well. I'm sorry, I know I asked you loads of stuff to put in the comments, but yeah, any suggestions as well. I think at the minute I'm going for something like Conk, Confagragus to set it up. And oh, I've got a really interesting Mega Latias set as well, which I don't know how it's going to work out, but it's something for you to look forward to. I don't know if it's been done before, but I really like it, and we'll just see how it goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I will see you at the next one. Macadie out. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep up my latest content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Macaddy out.